Girl, get up. Still let no one tell you what you can and can't do.
Finally, somebody talking like they got some sense in their head.
Oh, hey, Mama G.
Hey, baby.
Hey, Miss Minnie. Hey, Miss Sarah.
Hey there, little lady.
Hey, love. You know, I'm just going to sit here and watch the show with Miss Minnie here and enjoy myself, but I can't help it. Especially with my daughter here talking about Jackie Robinson. The Jackie Robinson. Now, that's huge.
It's gigantic.
He was a beast.
A monster.
He was the king.
Indeed, he was. Now, you know, Jackie Robinson was one of our HomePlateHeros.
Oh, yes, he was. Do you even know anything about Jackie Robinson?
Yeah, I know.
Baby, you don't know nothing. What do you know?
I know that in 1941, Jackie Robinson became the first athlete in UCLA history to ever letter in 4 sports. Baseball, football, basketball, and track, all in the same year.
Well, all right now.
Now, baby, I knew he went to college, but honey, I didn't know all that. You got some numbers on that night.
I always say a life is not as important except in the impact it has on others' lives. I stood up for equal rights even before I did so in baseball. Now, you probably don't know, but I was arrested and court-martialed after doing my training in the Army for refusing to move to the back of a segregated bus. You see, I just went with the whole separate but equal foolishness. A man is a man. Simple as that. I was eventually acquitted and given an honorable discharge. Deservingly so, I might add. And this is when I started my professional baseball career. I was a second baseman for the Kansas City Monarchs until Brooklyn Dodgers manager. Grands Ricky decided he wanted to integrate the game of baseball. So Ricky calls me because he wanted me not just for my talent in the way I played the game of baseball, but he wanted me because of my demeanor, you know, the way I carried myself. Nah, Ricky knew he was sending me down a tough road. I mean, let's face it, he was sending me into the woods. But if there's one thing I can surely say, is that Ricky knew I could handle the situation when I'm fighting back. For a while, I think he had more faith in me than I did myself. Because every day I wanted to punch somebody in the face or wring a neck or two. You know, it was hard. Real hard. But it made me tough. So I had to do it. I had to do it for my people. I had to do it for every black man that wanted to play baseball and give the fair treatment that we so rightly deserve. So yes, I did it. I went through it all. I went through folks calling me names, spitting on me, at me. I went through them white folks and white parents that made it clear they don't want me there. That were even threats on my life and on my family. But I did it. I most certainly did. I did it.
See, now that Jackie Robinson, he joined the Montreal Royals, the Dodgers' top farm team in 1946, and led the International League with a .349 average and 40 stolen bases. He was promoted to the Dodgers and made his major league debut on April 15, 1946.
Robinson's debut in the major leagues marked the beginning of integration in both major and minor league baseball.
But you see, it also marked the beginning of the end of the Negro Leagues. You see, these were all black professional teams. And you know, they didn't allow the black players to be playing in the leagues with the little white boys. You know what I mean?
Do y'all even know what the Negro Leagues were?
Yeah. Wait, ain't those the teams that formed because of what Miss Minnie said? Blacks couldn't play with whites, so they formed their own baseball league, like what we had here in Birmingham, Birmingham Black Bears.
Yep, that's about the size of it.
I did my Black History paper on the Negro Leagues month. You all know I love baseball. White major professional players got paid really high salaries, stayed in the finest hotels, ate at five-star restaurants, and rode in the nicest trains to city to city just so they could play. Negro League players rode in raggedy, beat-down buses without air conditioning. Or they would ride in piled-up cars and stay in black-only hotels, and that's only if they can find one.
That's right.
They'll sleep on a bus or find people in the cities where they were playing to stay with.
And don't forget to mention that they had to eat like wherever they could. And sometimes they couldn't even find an all-blacks restroom to use if they needed one. It was like bad.
All I know is I could not have lived during those times.
Always got something to say.
I sure wouldn't be playing no baseball.
Right.
Get that, man.
You would have if you loved it as much as they did.
That's right, baby. Baseball ran through their names like they own blood.
They sure did. When they didn't have the right equipment to play, they would make stuff out of old cars, like a breastplate.
You see that?
See, there was a lot of really good black talent, but nobody really knew about them.
No.
Yeah, Monty Irvin, who started with the New York Eagles and later for the New York Giants, said if they would have ended the Jim Crow barrier just 10 years earlier, would have been at least 25 players would have made it to the major league clubs and would have been potential Hall of Famers.
Oh, and you know, there were a lot of them too. Y'all probably heard of Willie Mays, but y'all probably ain't never heard of folks like Josh Gibson, Cool Papa Bell, or Buck Leonard, who was a fantastic hitter, or Oscar Charleston, who was just as good as Willie Mays.
Yeah, I never heard of any of them.
Baby, that's because Negro leagues were very organized, never really recognized.
No, you see, there was a group of these waiters back in the Babylon Long Island Hotel that got together and created the first all-American black baseball team. See, they were so thinking that they were prejudiced against, blacks, like they was just a white was. I don't know what they were thinking.
It actually says here that Rube Foster met with representatives of other black teams at a Kansas City YMCA on February 13, 1920. And that's where he created the Negro Leagues. They played like 60 to 80 league games per year and 100 or more exhibition games.
I got this.
That's my best friend.
Rube Foster was a black manager and executive known as the father of black baseball. The Negro Leagues wouldn't have existed without him.
I was born in Collinsville, Texas, beginning my playing career pitching for the Fort Worth Yellow Jackets in 1897. By 1902, I was hurling for the Giants in Chicago, then jumped to Otsego, Michigan, semi-pro white team. And before heading to the Philadelphia Cuban X-Giants, that season we won 44 games in a row. The Philadelphia X-Giants beat the Philadelphia Giants for the 1903 Colored Championship of the World, and I threw 4 of the 5 X-Giants wins. The following season, I joined the Philadelphia Giants, leading the team to the pennant and defeating my former team in the playoff. Now, I would tell the team all of the time, don't worry, try to appear jolly and unconcerned, because that is the key to pitching out of jams. I have smiled often when the bases are full, 2 strikes and 3 balls on the batter. This seems to unnerve, but it's okay, because all will be well. Believe it or not, I thrived as a pitcher in the dead ball era, but I had to set my sights higher than just the mound. In 1911, I went into partnership with John Shirley. See, Shirley had leased the old White Sox grounds, and they wanted a black team to play there. So I went to work, and I provided the Chicago American Giants a black team to play there. See, now as owner and manager of the team, it was my duty to motivate the team, especially in an era when others were trying to tear them down. I instilled the daring, aggressive, yet disciplined style of play which the Negro Leagues became famous. In 1920, I set the wheels in motion to create the Negro National League, an association of black teams modeled after Major League Baseball. Now, a lot of folks didn't like it, but I was a strict coach with high expectations for my team. All I know is I must have been doing something right, because the team was rewarded by winning the first 3 pennants. The first 3 pennants, I like that there.
Yeah, you see, now Rube Foster was elected finally to the Baseball Hall of Fame in, was it 1981?
That was good for him. He deserves to be inducted. But you know, one of my all-time favorites was Leroy Roberts. Satchel Paige. He was a pitcher with speed and control like none other. Ooh, he was such a joy to watch on the field. Y'all please stay on the grown folks' business.
Listen, y'all, for real though, Satchel was from Rockfield, Alabama. Did you know that? Mobile, Alabama.
In fact, Satchel Paige played for the Birmingham Black Barons from 1927 to 1930.
I'm an Alabama native, born and bred. You see, when I was a child, I carried baggage to the train station. I rigged up a broomstick, tied ropes to it. That way I could carry more satchels. And that way I could make more money. And you guessed it, that's why I got my name, Satchels. Now I got caught shoplifting. So they sent me to reform school. Now, can you believe that they call it reform school? But I don't think I ever got reformed. I just don't think they know what to do. A skinny 6'3" black guy, that's a lot to work with. But they ended up doing me a favor, because as soon as I got out, I started my pitching career for the Negro Leagues in the 1920s. Now, I was a right-handed pitcher, and I have to say, I quickly became the biggest drawing card in Negro baseball. Man, people came from all around to see me play. Man, I was in my zone on that baseball field. I was able to overpower batters with my sharp fastball. I became so popular that my fastball had names. Pretty clever if I do say so myself. Now I was a showman at heart, intended to follow the money, if you know what I mean. I bounced from team to team in search of the best paycheck. I pitched hundreds of games a year, from regular league assignments to barnstorming opportunities. Now, if you don't know, barnstorming is when Negro League players went to small towns or rural areas and played in extra position games. That way, we were still able to play the game of baseball. Man, I was playing baseball well into my 50s, which amazed some folk. But it's like I always say, age is a question of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it don't matter. I don't know what took them so long, but I was eventually inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1971. That was an honor I surely deserved. Because if you don't pat yourself on the back, who will?
He had an amazing career. Did you know that he gave his pitches names like Long Tom, Thoughtful Stuff, and Fat Dodger?
That Dodger?
Yup, Satchel Paige was the first black baseball player inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Ooh, you know that's Satchel Paige. He was asked what the secret of his successes was. And he said, 1, avoid fried meat, angry up the blood. 2, if you don't stomach disputes, you lie down and you pacify with cool thoughts. 3, to keep the juices flowing, jangle gently as you move. 4, go very lightly on boxes, such as all the chit-chat in society. Now you know society ramble ain't restful now.
Baby, that's for the messy folks.
5, avoid running at all times.
Well, baby, he was a pitcher. He did wrong much.
And 6, don't look back. Something may be gaining on you.
So, Miss Sarah, what does all that mean?
You know, I would imagine that if you sit still and study on those words, a mind can get a whole lot from that. One person's interpretation may be different from another's.
Yep, that's about the size of it.
No, we've had a whole lot to say about the men involved with the Negro Leagues, but we haven't said anything about the women.
Women? What's wrong with women playing ball?
In the Negro League, playing ball.
I knew that.
Shut up, Charlie.
Don't tell Charlie to shut up.
Yeah, don't tell me to shut up.
Come here, baby. Tell us what you know about the women involved with the Negro Leagues.
Well, since we just got through talking about Satchel Paige, who was a famous pitcher, how about Lady Peanut Johnson, who was a famous female pitcher in the Negro Leagues?
That's what's up. Okay, period.
So you mean to tell me?
She was awesome. A scout brought her into the Indianapolis Times, and she rocked it. In 3 seasons, she won over 33 games, only losing 8, and had a batting average of .270, making her one of the top pitchers in the history of the Negro Leagues.
You do know there's more women in Negro Leagues too.
Yeah, it says here that the Negro Leagues actually had 3 other women. Toni Stone, Connie Morgan, and Ethel Manley.
I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, just like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. 'Cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know oh, yes, it will. I go to the movies and I go downtown, but I don't think I'm able to hang to my brother. And I say, brother, help me believe. Well, he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Oh, there been times when I thought I wouldn't last long, but now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know the change gonna come. Oh yes, it will.
You had a good year, you know? Had my curveball making them shake like a sinner in church.
Here we go. But you know, in March 1954, the Indianapolis Clowns signed me, Connie Morgan, onto the team. I was 19 years old and fresh out of Philadelphia, and I became one of 3 women to play professional baseball in the Negro League.
The Clowns signed me too. I'm Mamie Johnson, but everybody calls me Peanut.
I'm Tony Stone, and I'll play with the Indianapolis Clowns and the Kansas City Monarchs.
They signed us ladies onto the team because they were trying to draw more crowds to games and get more ticket sales.
And guess what? It worked. You want to know what the black press called us?
The box office sensations.
That's right. Me, Connie Morgan, my sister here, Tony Stone, and my other sister here, Mamie Peanut Johnson, were box office jobs because we were women. But even more so because we were talented players.
And baby, if you want something done right, what do, ladies?
You call a woman. I was a Minnesota native. My real name is Marcenia Lyle Stone, but y'all can just call me Tony. I was already playing baseball with men and boys for years back in the Sandlots of St. Paul, where I grew up. I was born in 1921, and by 1937, I was playing on the Twin Cities Color Giants semi-pro team. A newspaper man in Minneapolis said that the team had the distinction of having a girl pitcher, and that no other team could boast the same. That girl was me, Miss Marcenia Stone. I was 16 years old and a great athlete. Wow. You know, another newspaper man said I had been doing much to amuse the fans with her great catcher and wonder-hitting power. At first, the fellas made passes at me, but as soon as I let them know that there wasn't going to be any monkey business, they soon gave me their respect. Some would even say that I would think, talk, and play like a man. I played approximately 50 out of the 175 games with the Indianapolis Clowns. All I know is that I was a great pitcher. After the 1953 season, my contract was sold to the Kansas City Monarchs, and my spot was given to an old girl here, Connie Morgan. It's all right, girl. I'm not mad with you.
And you were a good player indeed.
I sure was.
I had some big shoes to fill, I will tell you that. Constance Anova Morgan, that's my name. I was born in 1935 in Philadelphia. I was a right-handed second baseman and the 3rd woman to play professional baseball in the Negro League. I played with the Indianapolis Clowns for 2 years, and before then, I played 5 seasons with the North Philadelphia Honey Triplets, an all-female baseball team. I loved sports growing up. In fact, I was an all-around athlete, and I played basketball in the off-season. They say I played Tony here, who was a second-hand baseman and the first woman in the league, but no way. We all had it hard because we were women.
And let's not forget black women.
Right. So we had to stick together, Tony, Peanut, and me, and we did.
We sure did.
You see, now all I wanted to do was play baseball. I can remember being shunned by my teammates who told me to go home and fix your husband some biscuits. You know what they tell a boy when he graduates high school?
What they say?
They tell him to go out and travel the world. But you know what they tell a girl?
Yeah.
They tell her to go next door and marry the boy that their families pick for. It wasn't right. You see, what the world can seem to understand is that a woman can do many things.
We can and we did.
We played baseball in the
Negro
Negro
League.
League.
We sure did, yes we did. My name is Mamie Peanut Johnson, but everybody calls me Peanut. I was born in Ridgeway, South Carolina, and I learned to play baseball when I was just 7 years old. I wouldn't let the sun set or rise without me playing. It's like I played every day. And when I left South Carolina to go to New York University in 1943, I played baseball every chance that I got. And in 1953, when I was 19 years old, I played with the Indianapolis Clowns Baseball Club where I pitched for 3 years. My pitching record was exceptional, and when I wasn't pitching, I played second base. Just to know that I was among some of the best ball players that ever picked up a bat made all my baseball moments great moments. And for 2 seasons when I was with the Clowns, I played with Hank Aaron. And I also met Satchel Paige, who taught me how to throw his curveball. He just taught me how to grip the ball so I wouldn't throw my arm out because I was so little. I'm sure Satchel's tips helped me be so successful. When I was 17 years old, I got rejected as a team member from the white female baseball league. That unfair treatment and prejudice became my own victory. If I would have played with the white girls, I would have just been another player. But now, I am somebody who has done something no other woman has ever done.
Why? Now, why don't you come over here and tell me what you was doing with Satchel Paige?
Girl, Satchel Paige.
Something that I left behind. When I leave this world, I'll leave no regrets. Leave something to remember, so they won't forget I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I did, I've done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone will know I was here. I wanna say I live each day until I die, and know that I am something in somebody's life. The hearts I have touched will be the proof that I leave, that I made a difference, and this world will see I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here.
reason why those 3 women even played ball was because the Negro Leagues were suffering bad.
You know, after Jackie Robinson went to the major leagues back in 1947, other Negro League superstars went too, like Larry Doby, Hank Thompson, and Satchel Paige.
That was a good thing, wasn't it?
It was and it wasn't. See, when the black talent left the Negro Leagues, fans went too.
They wanted to see the black superstars play with the white teams. I am sure a lot of people are proud of them. I'm proud just thinking.
Yes, baby, folks were certainly proud, but that put the Negro Leagues in a strain to survive. The teams rarely received any money, bankrupting pretty much all the black players, and the fans bought tickets to the major leagues.
So, are you saying that was the end of the Negro League baseball era?
Yes, Sugarfoot, that's exactly what she's saying. You see, the Negro Leagues ended in 1948.
And you know, a few black teams still played a while by barnstorming. And by 1966, the Indianapolis Clowns were the last Negro League team still playing. And they played exhibition games all the way into the 1980s.
Right. You ladies sure do know a lot about black baseball.
Baby, when you get to be our age, you know a lot about a lot of things.
Hey, do you guys remember that poem from Mrs. Morsham class? You know, the one by the author Walter Wintle.
I think I know the poem you're talking about. The man who thinks he can.
Yeah, that's the one. It reminds me of all the players in the Negro League.
The men and the women of the Negro League. If you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you're not, you don't.
If you like to win but think you can, it's almost a cinch you won't. If you think you'll lose, you lost. For out in the world we find. Success being with a fellow's will is all in the state of mind. If you think you're on class, you are. You've got to think higher to rise. You've got to be sure of yourself before you can ever win a prize. Life's balance don't always go to the stronger or faster man. But sooner or late, the man who wins is the one who thinks he can.
Mind over matter. That is powerful. Simply put, whatever you think you can do, you can do.
That's right. That's how I know I'm going to become one of the best baseball players in this country.
All right. Here she going there again.
I'm going to be one of the best in the world.
I think you can do it.
Sure you can, Charlie. You just keep practicing and believing in yourself, and you will be the best indeed.
Man, Charlie can really hit the ball.
What's up?
Baby, I can hit the ball. I can hit the ball better than you.
She sure can. I've seen her do it.
When?
Just last week, she hit a home run in the game against the